Okay, so again, thank you everyone for coming to our last Montessori morning meeting of the year. I am hoping that next year we can get back to being in person at our regularly scheduled time. Normally we did this right after parents were able to drop off their students at about 7:15, and I had coffee and donuts, and it was very sort of intimate, nice way to get to know each other and talk about Montessori theory. So I often leave the May Montessori morning meeting for questions about next year and sort of updating on staffing for next year as well. So what I know is that we obviously are going to fourth grade next year. That position is open on WeCan. Right now I have 5 applicants. However, only one is Montessori certified, which is very typical. Very hard to find Montessori certified staff. I do know the applicant, so I'm hoping she will be a good fit for us. I'm probably going to leave it open another few weeks just to see if we get any more. So again, we're hiring one fourth grade teacher as of now. If I have more fourth graders enroll, we could potentially have 2 teachers, because right now those third years we're sitting at about 30. So we're at a very odd number. And so what will happen is if we do just hire one teacher, we will have an EA to support that classroom, at least half-time, hopefully full-time. So again, we will be hiring another part-time EA to help support that fourth grade teacher. If we do hire 2 fourth grade teachers, then we probably wouldn't need that EA. Our social worker is going up to 2 days. Right now we have a social worker 1 day, and I just found out yesterday we will be getting a new social worker. So Teresa Carter will no longer be with us, unfortunately. She'll be full-time at Walden. I have not met the new social worker that will be coming in, but she'll be with us 2 days. And then we also have Pam for 2 days as well, our counselor. We are also getting another half-time special education teacher. So right now we have Anna full-time, and we will be receiving, again, another half-time special education teacher. I think that teacher is going to be somebody that's already employed with the district, and so they're sort of figuring out placement right now. I don't know how that will look. It depends what school I share him or her with. It could be all mornings. It could be 2-3 days a week. All that scheduling will have to take place when I see who I share her with, what school. So that's good news. And then we are keeping our special education para as well, which I'm excited about. So we'll have plenty of support for our amazing special ed students. We also are getting a strings coach 1 day. So I know I strongly advocated for that, and I'm excited about it. I will have more information probably in the parent handbook on how you would sign up for strings. It is 2nd grade. It starts in 2nd grade. And she has all that information. I'll be having a meeting with her probably over the summer, and I potentially will put that in the handbook and let parents know how that the strings classes will look. And again, she has a nice little room that she can participate in. And I know with Suzuki, which is what starts in 2nd grade, parents do have to be present. Right now they have to be present online, but barring on what happens next year, they would have to be present, I think, hopefully in building while students are taking those lessons. But again, I will have more information after I speak with her. And I'll be sure to let parents know, and I'll probably put it in the parent handbook as well. Also, right now we have FIAD 3 days a week. We will have FIAD 5 days a week next year. So we will have Mr. Sam here every day, which is great. Right now we have music and art 2 days. They are bumping up to 3 days. So students will have music and art. We will have them here 3 days. I can't say they're going to get music and art 3 days a week with the schedule, but it will be at least one time a week that our K-5 and above will have music and art. So I think that covers everything for staffing for next year. And so it's exciting because as we continue to grow, of course, we're getting more support and more teachers. So that's exciting. So I can answer any questions that you may have about scheduling, busing, anything that you may have for next year or even this year. Let me know. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah,
Is the pickup routine, drop-off routine going to be the same? I wasn't sure because of COVID this year, and since we're new to the school, if that's going to be the same or different.
The pickup or the drop-off routine will be the same. We will always have that car line with our staff helping, assist students out of the car. We have not established a pickup.
Okay.
I haven't really thought about that. I know parents at 10:30 sort of were asking for one. But as of now, drop off will be the same.
Okay.
And pick up.
Okay. And will the start time be the same as well?
As of now, the start time will be the same. Yeah. So we're looking at a 7:20, 7:21 start time.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, I have one more question. Is there going to be aftercare for 3K or
there
for
will
3K?
There will be aftercare. And so I just received an email from the Academy Kids Zone, and they are looking forward to coming back. I just printed it off yesterday, and then I will get that out. I will make sure to put that link in the June newsletter.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Kids Zone. Does anyone else have any questions? Mr. Gustin?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I do have a question, and Connor's been doing the virtual stuff, but we definitely miss having him come in and participate at the school there. And I guess one of the questions I have, and I don't need specifics, but it's hard to make a decision on where we're at as in a community with cases. How has things been at the school with the COVID? Has there been any breakouts or staff infections or children coming in sick, things like that? I mean, I don't need to know names or stuff like that, but
Sure. No, I can be very honest with you. We have had no staff positives. We have had one student positive, and we just had to quarantine the lunch table because they were sort of kept in pods in their classroom. And so we just had about 3 students on quarantine because of that positive test case.
Okay.
When students call in, Miss Lisa has a whole new job, the secretary this year, because when students call in sick, she has to take down, what are you sick with? Is it a cough and a fever? Is it a cough and sniffles and all of this? And then she siphons that to the nurse, and then the nurse makes phone calls to parents. And if need be, we have to tell them that they have to be on quarantine for, I think it's 14 days. And so we've had some quarantines, but a lot of that could just be allergies. We've only had one test positive, though, if that answers your question. And we did have to quarantine some, again, from that lunch table.
So will it still be like the building's off limits to parents coming in next year? And
I am not sure. I do know we are going back to 5 days a week. We will not have the asynchronous Wednesdays. I don't know about the mask policy yet. I think, the district is probably waiting on, more information from that and CDC guidance and all of that. But again, I do know we're going back to the 5 days, and there will not be an option for remote. However, like your son's in virtual, that option is always there for students to go to like the virtual school, which means you're sort of disenrolled from Montessori.
Okay. But because of the circumstances,
he's coming.
Connor, he didn't get disenrolled. Okay. So we just wanted to make sure he's still.
Yeah, I mean, he right now, he is not one of our students. He's in the virtual, but those students that chose to go virtual because of this COVID situation, he's more than definitely is welcome back. And that was the deal that, we made. So yes. So if you want to send him back next year, we have a spot for him.
Okay. Do you know when we need to make that decision by?
Well, I'm okay time-wise, John, with you just telling me, if you want to wait for more information from the district about how things are going to look, I can save his spot, up until August if need be.
Okay.
Because, he's an older student, so it's not like we have a waiting list for those grades.
Okay.
And so unfortunately, I don't have a lot of details. Right now we do breakfast in the hallway. We used to have a breakfast room. I'm anticipating having 2 breakfast rooms next year, so we can spread more students out. We are very spread out for lunch. We have probably 4 or 5 students at a lunch table right now when normally we would fit 16. I'm hoping we can go back to that. But if not, we'll make it work. So, but I'm very proud. The class that we did have the positive case, she was excellent at keeping those students in pods, so that we didn't have to quarantine a whole class. It was just that the lunch table, since they were unmasked.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
why would you look to bring the lunch tables back to such a large size?
Well, for a few reasons, because not saying, but it can be a little more challenging scheduling wise to find more time to set up more tables, if that makes sense. We have to end gym or music a little earlier so that we have time to set up more tables. I have no issues with the way it is now, but now next year we are growing. We have a K4 class coming into us from Giese, which is shutting down. And so I need to add, and they're an all-day K4 class. And so I need to add them to lunch, and I also need to add the 4th graders to lunch. And certainly we have space here, so we can figure it out. But depending on where numbers are with COVID, if we have to be spread out, we have to be spread out. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure.
So does the K4 students have lunch, or is that still a half day?
It's an all-day K4 class, so they do have lunch.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. And well, no. But this is a K4, sort of like how we house Peacock classroom in our building. This K4 class is not Montessori based.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just, we're sort of just housing them since Giese closed and they need a spot. So it's sort of like the K4 Giese classroom at Goodland.
Okay.
I think it's only going to be this year. I don't know. It may be 1 or 2 years until they get a permanent home, until that, they build the new school or all of that rearranging takes place.
So the regular K4 is still getting out at 10:15.
Half day.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. But certainly we do have enough space for us to be spread out at lunch, even with, I believe I will be putting the 4th graders and the K4s with the K5s next year. So then we will use the whole gym space. But again, since unfortunately our lunchroom is our gym room, it's scheduling that takes place, right? The more lunch times we have, the less we can use the gym for FIAD and music now. So does anyone else have any questions? I will be sending information out about, I'm updating the parent handbook right now. I'm in process of that. Typically we have an orientation, and usually we invited all parents to that, but I'm thinking we'll probably just invite the new parents and the new K3s this year. Some of you have never stepped in the building before, if you have a K3. So we'll be probably just holding that orientation for new parents and new parents this year who have, who we've never really done the presentation with the handbook and such. And then of course we will always have an open house where it's usually the first week of school. And that's an opportunity for parents to come in and actually see the classroom. Again, this all depends on where district stands with visitors in the building, because right now we have no no visitors in the building unless it's by appointment. I'm hoping we can. I'm hoping we can have, not like we have a flurry of activity in here with visitors, but it's nice for parents to come in and observe after the first few months of school. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, what about field trips? Would parents be able to chaperone field trips still?
Next year?
Yeah.
I'm hoping so. And right now we are, we have no field trips, unfortunately. I'm hoping next year we can get back to field trips. And I'm assuming that if that rule changes, that if visitors are allowed back in the buildings, I'm assuming that parents would be able to chaperone. And so just so you know, like if I have a parent asking to come in right now, I do ask if they are vaccinated, and that sort of, we are all still wearing masks here, staff and students. But if I do have a visitor come in, I do ask, are you vaccinated? And then you're welcome to come in. I haven't turned down anybody. It's only been a few people that have requested, but again, they're always masked.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm hoping we can get back to the field trips, especially at the nature centers and such, and like the Brain Expo, but we shall see. We'll hope.
Good morning.
Good
I
morning.
missed the first 5 minutes of the call, and I just wanted to confirm that there's going to be a 4th grade class for Montessori, and then how many classes?
Yep, we are going up to 4th grade next year. Right now, I was telling the group that we are at about 31, 32 students, 30 to 32. And so we're at this balance of, do we hire 2 teachers and split 15 and 15, since we're going to be hiring a new teacher anyway? Or do we hire 1 and help support that teacher with an EA? So right now we are only hiring 1, and we are supporting that teacher with an EA. So yes, we are going up to 4th grade right now. It is 1 class, and I only have 1 applicant right now with Montessori experience. So I think even if we opened it to 2, I don't know if we'd have, an applicant to actually fill that position. So yes, right now we are going to be adding 1 4th grade teacher with support from an EA.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, we are going up to 5th grade. We are still advocating for a K-8. I should have a final decision on that. I've been in the process all school year of making presentations and putting some data together and such. And thank you all who filled out the survey about a K-8. It was overwhelming support. Probably, I think 95-96% of parents said yes, we would send our child here through K-8. So that speaks volumes to senior leadership. And we are hoping to still do that. I should have some final numbers so parents can make an informed decision about middle school if need be. I should have a final decision by the beginning of next school year about that. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns?
I wanted to say congratulations on that middle school thing. I know you don't have it yet, but that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yes, I'm excited about it. And I taught at a school that had K-8 Montessori, and it's an amazing, amazing community, because typically our kids are together from K3, K4, all the way through 8th grade. And so we rarely have behavior issues, because it's sort of like, they've been together for so long, and there's not a lot of, students going back and forth and such. So I'm excited about it. It's a lot of planning. I'm a little nervous. It's very hard to find, of course, Montessori trained, but adolescent training is sort of new in the Montessori world. But we have a few years to hopefully get an already employed RUSD teacher through adolescent training, and that can be a good fit. But there's so many things we can do with curriculum. I'm really excited about it, so I'm hoping it happens. A little nervous too, but it'll be good.
It probably wouldn't be a good topic for right away next year for the Montessori mornings, but I would be really interested to hear what the differences are for the older kids and what Montessori looks like for older kids versus
Absolutely.
what our kids are doing.
I'm going to add that. We can have a day where we talk about adolescent curriculum. It's really exciting, actually. And I think it fits really well with what the Racine high schools are doing with academies, honestly. And so I think our students would be more than prepared to go into a Racine Unified High School and fit well into an academy. Very project-based. So yes, it's exciting. I will add that. Good idea. Or we could do that for a parent ed night too. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. And if you talk to any other parents, you can let them know. I will have this up on the YouTube channel in case they have any similar questions. They can refer to this.
Thanks for hosting.
Where do we find the YouTube channel?
I have that. I have put it on. Do you get the newsletters every month from me?
Yes.
Okay, so I put a link. I believe what is it? May. I think I put one on the March or the April newsletter.
Okay.
You know what? I for some reason I don't have my. Do you want me to email it to you?
Yeah, that would be great.
I will email it to you right when we're done.
Thank you. Sorry
You're
about
welcome. No worries. And so all of our Montessori mornings, most of them, if I remember to record, and parent education nights are posted on that YouTube channel
that. Okay, great. Thank
for
you.
reference. You're welcome.
Very helpful.
Wonderful. Anyone else?